Hello, and
Hey.
welcome back to Strong Woman Highs - Life is a Mishmash. We are back again. This is actually quite a fairly regular posting schedule we're on at the moment. Well, what was it, 2 weeks ago, our last episode? Maybe not even that, was it?
It was before Rogue, wasn't it? So,
How long ago
yeah,
was
just
Rogue?
before.
Yeah. Well, yeah. On 2
2
weeks.
weeks?
Well, it's regular. It's more regular than it was anyway. So, yeah, welcome back. We
More regular
are.
than my bowels.
Hey, look, there's a cat.
Where? Oh, yeah.
I just spotted it. Sneak preview. Sneak preview of Jenny's pussy.
Frankie's,
That's what.
Frankie's the
That's
bed cat. She is
absolutely what I'm
his
gonna
bed
call this
pussy.
episode. Oh God.
He's
Well, this has gone
to
downhill immediately already,
dun,
hasn't
dun,
it? Jesus
dun.
Christ. Hello,
I
God.
know, but look at her. She's so nice.
She's very cute. Very cute cat.
Ah, good girl. Stop stealing. Right.
Well, so
Mm.
yeah, what we're gonna well today we're gonna talk about what we said we were going to talk about in the last podcast, which was the Rogue Invitational catch up. I think honestly,
Yeah.
I think that was probably one of my favourite competitions that's ever happened. Um, I absolutely loved it. You were there in person, so you'll have a better idea of what happened. But I watched it on the live stream and
Mm.
no complaints. I thought it was class. The live stream being free was really good. They also told you when the events were coming up, so like you didn't have to sit and wait on the live stream for hours and hours and hours. It was like fairly well organized and it looked class. I think the only thing I didn't like is when they did the events, that were like 5 at a time, and it was over in like 4 minutes.
Yeah, I
That
don't
was a bit
really
shit.
understand why. Mm. Mm.
Like I feel like they definitely could have spread that out a bit because it was just over. Not like it was obviously to keep the competition moving quickly, but it moved almost too fast. Like I wanted to watch people,
Yeah.
and you couldn't watch them when there was 5 at a
Well,
time.
that's
Like I
just
had to
it.
replay it.
I think yeah, like they're taking it too much into CrossFit context. Like the CrossFit events will last a fair few fucking minutes. So you've
Yeah,
got a lot of things that you can keep your eye on through that time, but like a 12-meter yoke carry and then 12 power stairs. It's going to be
something
over
like
and
that.
done
Or
with within like 30, 40 seconds, isn't it? And then you're
yeah, it
like,
was
oh,
fast.
fucking,
Oh
it was
no,
too
I've
much.
missed them.
I didn't like that.
No, no. What
Mm.
was your opinion about being there in person?
Yeah, it was absolutely belter. But these things always are better in person. Arguably, oh, maybe OSG is not as good in person, but I couldn't honestly tell you because I've never been to go and watch one. I've only ever watched it on a live stream, but I could imagine that's like painful to watch in person because it doesn't look like a great time.
I
To
think if
complete.
you're not
I'm
if you're
sorry,
not
Lynn.
competing, I think if you're not competing, it's a hard one as a spectator. You have to really enjoy strongman to go and
Yeah,
watch that because it's a lot of the same thing. But
yeah,
I do think having the Rogue, obviously having the CrossFit side of it as well, because there was a few different things going on. It's like more bearable to sit through, isn't it? And because there's
yeah.
only a very small amount of athletes.
Aye, that's right. Well, there wasn't a lot to do in between events, and it's not like there was a lot to watch because I don't. I'm really sorry to anybody who's a die-hard fan of it, but I just don't understand what the big deal is with CrossFit. I just don't. If I wanted to go and watch somebody train, I'd go and sit in the gym with a bag of popcorn and just watch people because that's
I
all it
think
feels like I'm doing.
I don't even
It's
think
just
it's that.
watching a workout. Like, what?
I think it's good, and I understand why it's got a good following, but it's just what you're interested in, isn't it? Like, I'm not interested in football. I wouldn't go
Yeah,
and
I
sit and
get.
watch a full football game. So, like, and I'm not that interested in CrossFit. Like, I think it's
No,
impressive and it's cool, but like, I don't want to sit and watch it in the nicest of ways. But loads of people
no,
could say that about strongman
no.
comps because I mean they're pretty boring sometimes too.
Well, yeah, each to their own. Each to their own. But yeah, it was nice to be able to get up and walk around and I don't know, go and buy some food that was not extortionately priced. from the arena.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. Like, let's get back to the events, I think.
The events.
Um, yeah,
Let's do it.
really
We've got them
enjoyed,
open.
much enjoyable.
Yeah, much enjoyed. I think they were very well set up. If I click off this, can you still see me? Eh? Am I still
Yes,
here? Is my internet working?
yes.
Nobody knows. Oh, it's because it's playing 100 adverts. My internet hasn't got the bandwidth for this. Yeah, so first up we had
Oh,
the
never
max
mind.
deadlift.
Hmm.
I actually quite liked how they ran this. It was a weird way to do a max deadlift, wasn't it? But I actually think it did work quite well. It was quite interesting to watch.
Yeah, I would disagree with you. I would have preferred it to be three nominated lifts and everybody goes on and does their first lift, and then everybody does their second, and then everybody does their third. Like, I
Fair.
didn't I didn't like so much the way that it was ran because a lifter might be doing two or three lifts on the trot because there's nobody else contesting that weight, so there's nobody else lifting that weight, and then it's down to the rules determining how much time you've got to rest in between lifts. I didn't
Yeah.
like it,
I think that's a problem with rising bar stuff, though, isn't
but
it? If
never
you
mind.
get rising bar for anything, it's quite a tricky one to like. It's at certain points, certain people are just not going to get rest times, are there?
No, no, they're not. No, no, I didn't like it, but yeah, appreciate that other people enjoyed watching that kind of a setup.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
Excellent to
good.
see Andrea pull over 300 kilos and join that ever so fucking exclusive list of women who have pulled 300 kilos or over. So she's
That's
now
really cool.
the second. She's got the second biggest deadlift in the world.
Yeah, because it
Is
wasn't
that
300,
right?
was it? Was it 302?
No, it was like 303 or something,
Yeah,
304. I don't know.
or 665
Just over.
pounds. If any of our American friends wanted to know that. Weird. I don't know what the kilos are until I work it out on my phone.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was I thought that was also, I think, probably one of my highlights, I think, to watch was Andrea hitting that over 300 kilo deadlift, because it's just been a long
Mm,
time coming for her,
hmm
hasn't it? And it's almost like she just deserved that.
It has.
She deserved to get that.
Yeah. Aye. We've been waiting for
301.6
that for a long
kilos.
time.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there we
So
go.
she was second with the 301 kilos. Lucy was first with 685 pounds, which was, I think, 311, wasn't it? Quick maths.
Something like
310.
that.
And Olga was third with 625 pounds, which was 283 kilos. That's absolutely insane, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
Big old deadlift. But even
It's
like,
nice.
very good, very nice. But even Sam, who
Mm.
was like bottom of the pack there in 10th place, she still deadlifted like 230 kilos, 505
Mm.
pounds. Like,
Mm.
that's a huge
No
deadlift still,
suit.
isn't it?
Raw.
That.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
mad. Absolutely mad. Oh, yeah, I think it's a point to make as well that all that deadlift was raw, wasn't it? No one was allowed suits or briefs or anything,
Yeah. No.
which is madness, absolute madness. So imagine if they did have suits on.
Oh my God.
Have been some big
If
numbers there.
Lucy even found a suit that would fit her, like,
She just needs to get someone
not
to
that
make
I'm
her one.
implying she's enormous, but she's just,
Yeah, but
she's fucking tall,
deadlift
isn't
suits in
she?
general just aren't made for women, are they?
They're awful. They're awful. But goddamn, imagine her in a suit. What would she be able to do? That's scary.
I think in our lifetime we'll see her pull 400 kilos.
Do you think it'll be in a suit?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
probably.
I think
But
we'll see her pull close to or 400, but it'll be in a suit. It won't be raw.
yeah, well, she's done 325 with that. Was that deadlift brief she was wearing for that 325?
Maybe something like that.
I think she might have been just wearing briefs, but then like I don't think you're gonna get as much out of briefs as you would out of a suit anyway. But yeah, like it wouldn't. I think
No.
she'll 350 will fall in maybe a couple of years. The only problem is, and this is like probably a quite cynical way to think about it. If I was Lucy, would I continuously break that record above and above and above and above and above when
And never get
you're
paid for it.
only, well, yeah, that's the whole, yeah, that's basically what's going on. So you're only going to get paid so many times for it, aren't you? And like, is it worth
Aye.
that, like, pushing that when there's no one even close to you? Like, there's a lot of women hitting that 300 kilo mark, but she is a step ahead at this point, isn't she? She's like a real step
Mm.
ahead. And if no one was pushing you, there's not really a big monetary value in doing it when you're just against yourself, is it?
No, that's right. I don't think I would be bothered
Mm.
unless somebody was paying up.
I hope she is. Someone
Like
pay her,
like
come on.
Eddie had done. Like he kind of corralled so many businesses and so much funding to go into a
Mm,
prize pot for him to pull that 500 just to make it worthwhile because let's face it, he was very aware that he could very easily die doing that.
yeah, 100%. It's a dangerous game, isn't it? So it needs to be worth your while if you're going to do it.
Mm,
But
exactly.
yeah, hopefully someone steps up and pays her. But yeah, so that was a good event. Sort of expected at the top here of that max deadlift. Inez was in fourth, which I think makes sense as well. And
Yeah.
yeah, it sort of went how was expected, I think, that deadlift event. Anyway, on to the next
Mm.
one. Carry and press. Carry and press. So there was a bit of controversy about this event, wasn't there? With the log potentially maybe being a little bit too heavy. We only got 2 finishes in this event, which was Inez and Andrea.
I
What do
think
you
the
think?
issue with it was a really narrow log. Like the diameter
Yeah,
was very small compared to what women would normally be using with such excessive loads. Like there wouldn't have been that skinny a log.
yeah,
So it fucked a lot of people over when they were trying to clean it.
yeah. It looked like a hard
Like
clean.
it just wasn't making it. It just wasn't making it because it was so fucking thin. And you know yourself, it's a totally different beast if you were going to do a really heavy, skinny log versus a 12 to 13 inch diameter log. It
Yeah,
completely different, isn't it?
100%. Well, for one, you're
But I
starting.
think the
Got a bit of got a
what?
bit of we've got a bit of interference. Got a bit of interference. That's my internet letting us down again. Stupid internet. Go on, you say
No.
your thing. I'll wait.
I can't really remember. Something along the lines of I think that they set the weight too heavy anyway at the diameter that they were expecting to use
Yeah, I
at the
think if it
end.
was 10 kilos lighter at that diameter, I think we'd have had a lot more
Mm.
finishes.
Hmm.
Um, but then
Yeah,
I think if it was what we would normally press, like a normal big 12 to 13 inch metal log, I think we would have still had more finishes at that weight. But I do think the
yeah,
log was cool looking.
yeah. Oh
But
God, aye. Like, you gotta give it to them. Everything looked spectacular. Everything was
yeah.
really, really very cool looking. Apart from the
Do you know what?
sandbags, they looked a bit shit. They were just sandbags.
I can't remember the sandbags. Oh yeah, no, I do remember the sandbags. Do you know what I thought was really cool? You know the little starting platforms that they had that had their names on them, like at the side of them when they started.
Yeah.
Did you see them? Do you reckon they got to take
Yeah.
them home?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'd have asked if I was there. I'd have been like, "Can I have this?"
I feel like I would have known by now if one of them had taken theirs home. I feel like we
Who's?
would have found out.
They're never going to use that again. What are Rogue going to use that for again?
No,
They'll make new ones each
I don't
year. I'd
know.
I'd have been like, "Here, can I have that? I'll take that home, put it in my bedroom."
Maybe they give them to the fans.
Oh, maybe, yeah. And maybe they auction
Maybe
them
that's what
off.
it's for. Hmm. Who knows?
Hmm. Anyway,
We'll
well,
find out.
if anyone's listening to this who was doing Rogue and knows and stole one of their name tags, please tell us. I'd love to know.
Yes.
Oh no. Internet trying to reconnect. Today's
That
been a
time of day, though,
struggle.
isn't it? Oh
Anyway,
dear.
so yeah, Carrie and Press, we had Inez in first, Andrew in second, and Angelica Jardine in third. Again, a mint showing from Angelica. She is so good,
Aye.
isn't she?
Aye, she is.
Absolutely nailed this. And
And
we'll
just
talk
so,
about,
like, still so cheerful and happy to be there. And I always appreciate that when I'm watching somebody.
yeah, like she just loves it, doesn't she? Like she looks happy to be there all the
Mm,
time. And
yeah.
it's nice to see. But yeah, moving on to Inverstones. So this was I thought this was a really cool event, to be honest. I enjoyed watching it. I think it was
Aye,
cool that they
same.
had tackuless stones and they were heavy as well, really heavy.
Mm,
But yeah, we had Inez in first, Angelica in second, and Olga in third for that one. I feel like the only person that I think I felt like could have done a bit more at that was Andrea.
do you think?
Have to go back and think about in your mind box of the memories of it. But yeah, I feel like Andrew was like really willing to give up on them, and I remember being like
Mm.
watching it, being like, "Come on, give it some."
Aye,
But I
but
know that was
historically, she's never done well on stones, so it's like that's her bogey event, and is she going to put so much effort into something that she knows is probably not going to pay off, or in her head she's already talked herself out of it anyway? What
yeah
what
fair.
would be the return on that other than her spending too much energy doing something that she's not good at?
Yeah, fair enough. I
Like
also agree with
that's
that.
not her event, is it?
Nah, probably not.
She's excellent at carrying heavy shit. She's excellent at pressing heavy shit. She's excellent at deadlifting heavy shit. She's shite at stones.
Yeah,
I mean, she's
well,
fucking better than me, but she's for her field, she's
I feel
not
like
great.
we'll put a preface on this saying, like, while we're judging people here, we are aware that they're all much, much better than us. Take all of this with a pinch of salt. We're not here judging them. We're just saying.
I wish I was as shit as Andrea at stones. I
Me
wish.
too.
Mm.
Me too. But yeah, I think that was the only one where I thought, oh, come on. But I think because she'd had such a strong start in them first two events, like, I thought Andrew can win this. Like, Andrew's got this.
Mm.
Andrew can be at the top of this pack here now. Like, this is going to be her thing. And then when it started to, like, slip down, I was like, no, come on,
Mm.
Andrea.
I feel like watching her and remembering back, I feel like things started to chip away as the event wore on. Deadlift went absolutely excellently. Um, she didn't look right when she was doing the log press after the farmers. She did like a really lovely first rep. All of them were great and they all flew, but the the second and the third were strict press. She didn't come up onto her
Yeah.
toes. She didn't push press them. So potentially she'd like I haven't even seen any posts from her about the rogue. Not I don't really pay attention anyway to the the post fucking event run throughs. Once you've seen one, you've seen a million, haven't you?
Yeah.
So I don't know whether she tore a calf because she has had a calf injury, hasn't she? No, stop that.
Right. Okay. That's not a thumbs up.
Pop it. Pop it. That was
Yeah.
just my
No.
hand. Fucking phone.
Yeah, no, yeah, I wonder whether something happened then because yeah, it was, but also to strict press 117 kilos. What the fuck, man? What the
I
fuck?
know. I know. I know.
Insane. But yeah, I
That's
wonder whether.
crazy.
I don't think she has posted anything about anything. I'll have a quick check. My Instagram's just in a fucking terrible place right now.
Oh
I'll
God,
explain
Becca, do you
later.
think that's a good idea?
No, I'm just trying to look for someone else. I'm not paying attention to my own Instagram. Um, Yeah, there's like her posts that are like joined with Rogue, but I haven't seen
Hmm.
anything as a write up regarding Rogue,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Maybe not. Um,
No.
but yeah, I think that was. But yeah, apart from that, the Inverstones was really cool to watch. Rebecca Roberts did really well at that as well, actually. Because I think she'd had
Oh yeah,
the
she did.
first few, the first few events, like I feel like the deadlift and the carrying press didn't go how she planned it, and then she sort of pulled it out of the bag
Mm,
again for the stones there.
mm.
Um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
on
you
to
know, deadlift isn't quite her strong suit. Like she's a fucking good deadlifter, like, but she's not up there with the best, is she? And pressing, you know, she's getting better, but again, she's not up there with the best. So I think they were
yeah,
just not her best event starting off, and then when she really started coming into her own was from the Inverstones onwards, because
yeah,
that's more her kind of her forte. And worth noting, she was doing this all coachless as well.
yeah. Well, that's what I
She
was.
went
My
into the
next point
Rogue
was going to
without a
be,
coach. Not
yeah,
that
which
she
seems,
needed anybody to be there, but there was you know, an abrupt end to it in the week before the Rogue, so that must have set her head spinning a little bit. That can't be easy
yeah,
to go into a huge competition hanging over you.
100%. And I feel like probably the build up to that comp, if that's been the outcome of what's happened with the coach, has probably not been
Mm,
particularly nice. Like it's probably not been a great environment for not just that week before the comp, but potentially a bit of a build up to it as well. So
yeah,
yeah, it's
maybe.
a tricky one if there's a bit of drama, a bit of strongman, fucking
Oh my
strongman
God,
drama.
there's so
Jesus
much
Christ.
drama.
We'll
I
do the drama.
can't. I'm
We'll do
almost
the
ready to
drama later.
just give up on strongman forever. Fucking
You know what?
assholes.
I've had a few of these thoughts there, but we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna talk about it. We're talking about Rogue because we like it. That's why I've put this first, the
Strong
beginning of
woman
the podcast,
lows.
before
Good.
before it becomes that. We'll make sure we get the Rogue recap in the strong woman highs bit before we just decide to give up on life entirely.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on. The
Quick.
load and drag. Can you remember what was the load
Oh
and
my
drag?
God, I loved
Oh,
it.
the load
Although
and drag was that
it killed
big
me watching
circle
Donna, I
thing.
was like, "Ugh." I wanted to run onto the field and push it with her. Like, come
Yeah,
on, come
it
on.
looked so
But
heavy.
that
It was
was
such a big,
excellent. It
bizarre
looked fucking
implement.
epic.
Yeah,
It was
it
just
was
a
cool as
harebell.
fuck. Was it a harebell wrapped in
It was
rug?
just a harebell. Yeah,
That's class. That's absolute class. I love that.
I know, I know.
Oh my god,
Hey,
that's
no,
so
that was
funny.
brilliant. Really,
Yeah, I
really
thought.
very much enjoy. And
Yeah,
was that the first one that really started catching people out with the buzzer?
yeah. So I think this was the one that no, the Inverstones had a buzzer on them. The Inverstones had a buzzer, and I think it was
Okay.
potentially
But
Rebecca Roberts
irrelevant
that
because
missed
not many
that.
people finished it.
No,
Okay.
yeah, the load and drag. I think there was a buzzer, but I think there was quite a lot of time
Mm,
caps on this one. Yeah, there was five,
mm.
6 time caps on this one, so the buzzer won't have made much difference anyway. But the Inverstones was the one that people started missing the buzzer on. But I think everyone after the Inverstones started
Yeah.
realised that they had to hit the buzzer. I actually
Mm.
quite like the buzzer thing. I know people
I
were
love it.
bitching on about it. I thought it was great because there's nothing more
I
that I
totally
hate
agree.
than when you're at a comp and it's like you're at the fucking ends of someone's thumb. Like literally, it depends on how
Yeah.
fast they move their thumb. I'd rather hit that buzzer myself and know that it was me that made the
Mm.
mistake.
Me too. I'd rather rely on my reaction time than somebody else's.
Absolutely. Like I think bring them in for
And
everything. End of
I think that
farmers,
that should be
everything.
a thing. Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think the buzzers are great. Yeah, and I
Because
think it would just take out.
it'll be following the main clock as well, won't it? It won't be following its own clock
Yeah. No,
that
it was.
had to start again by somebody's reaction.
Yeah, well, I see it'll have all been like I don't know, like some sort of overarching clock thing, won't it? That's like programmed into it. But yeah, I think it was great. Bring back buzzers.
The overlord, the clock
The
overlord.
the time overlord. Keeping an eye on it. But yeah, so that was I enjoyed that. I thought it was really good. It was cool to see everyone push to absolute limits. So yeah, first in that was Lucy,
Mm,
second was Olga, third was Inez. I think Lucy did fucking
mm.
really well there. Cool to see her take that win on that event. Because
Agree,
not
but
to not
it certainly points out, it indicates who's the best at that style of event, and the ones that were going to do better were the taller ones carrying more weight.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's basically height order of the athletes, isn't it?
It
Olga,
wasn't far off.
Lucy,
The
Olga,
only
and Inez.
But how tall's Hannah? How tall's Hannah Lindsay? Because she didn't do particularly well on that. She came seventh. She's pretty tall, isn't she?
Um, she's not tiny. I don't know. I've never met her in person, so I wouldn't fucking know.
You saw her in person. She was there.
I didn't see her though. Like the athletes were all in this fucking little magic world behind a magic curtain. You weren't allowed to go and see them. Like I bumped
Magic
into Loz
curtain.
and he said this is a really weird setup because I'm not allowed to go and talk to the athletes. I'm not allowed to speak to any of them, but I'm supposed to commentate on them. I was like, yeah, that is kind of weird, like. But they were all just kept out of the way. I didn't see. I saw Donna. I saw. Did I see Andrea? I might have seen Andrea, and that was pretty much fucking it.
I wonder if they were just
Angelica,
keeping them behind locked doors. They were
maybe,
saving them for them VIP
maybe.
tickets, people meeting them. But yeah, I do agree. The taller athletes obviously did well there compared to
Mm,
like your smaller, more weight classy athletes. But again,
yeah,
it was a hard event though. That really hard event, and I think a lot of the time was
yeah,
it a 2 minute time cap on a lot of these.
yeah.
That's a long time.
Crazy. It is a long time, but
It's a long time to be
required in some cases. So
carrying and dragging stuff. But
awful,
yeah,
isn't
so
it?
that
Would you
was
dare?
event number. Would you dare? No, I wouldn't. Not 2 minutes. That was event number 4. So event number 5 was the yoke escalator. So
Mm,
this threw it up a little bit. Do you know what I think I would have liked this event to
mm,
be towards the beginning of this competition rather than the end? Like I'd have
mm.
rather had this one on one of the first days because I think it would have just made the points way more interesting.
Do you think?
Yeah, I genuinely do because I think it completely changed. Like if you look at the like Sam came first, Melissa was second, Inez was third, Olga was fourth, Lucy was fifth. But I think Sam and Melissa coming at the top there. Like I think if this had been one of the events first, it would have changed how people saw the competition going. Because I feel like a few athletes in there had a couple of good like first events, like Andrea had a couple of good first events, and then it all started to slowly go downhill. Like Andrea was
Mm,
ninth in that event, and I think she could have
yeah.
potentially. I mean, I'm just putting words in her mouth, but potentially by that point, maybe she was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, yeah, you're right. When it hasn't been going your way, you do start to give up and put less effort into stuff, don't you? And when things are going better, you tend to put in a little bit more effort and kind of have a little bit more focus and belief in yourself. So I
Yeah,
don't know, but I think the fact that Sam and Mel, they were the top two in that event, weren't they?
yeah.
I think the fact that they were top two in that one, mm, yeah, I don't
There
think it
was,
would
to
have
be
changed
fair,
anything at all. I don't think
there
it would
was
have
a
changed at all. Like
fair.
they're both, to be fair to them, and recent events following Rogue aside, and biases and all that. Um, yeah, kudos to them both because they're fucking excellent lighter weight, open weight athletes. They
Yeah,
both
totally
brought
agree.
a bit of something else to the
Yeah,
field, and that
I
was really remarkable to see because you can't relate to people that are colossal giants, can you? You can't relate to being the kind of build that Lucy is or
yeah,
Inez because we're just not ever going to be that build. You've got to be a tall, fucking broad woman to be able to carry
yeah,
that much mass. But Sam and Mel are very average heighted women.
yeah,
They're smallies. They're just woman sized women with a
yeah.
lot of beefcake on them and a lot of skill
But I think it
in
just
their
shows
arsenal.
that you don't have to be like over 6 foot to be able to be in the top.
No,
Like you don't
or
have to.
over 110 kilograms.
Nah, like you can just be like if you're 5'7", you've still got a shot at the top, haven't you? Just
Yeah,
you're just a bit shorter. I'd rather be 6 foot like her.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think that was really, really interesting. I think it was really cool. But there was only like 1 second splitting first to fourth place there. So like Sam had
Yeah, so a bit too
34.87
easy. I
seconds.
think the
Yeah.
power stairs should have been a lot heavier. I don't know
Yeah.
why they weren't.
Well, I
They
think as
were
well with
they
the
were like, I think thinking back to Europe's 2023, the power stairs weights for middleweight for 73s was heavier than their ones. So I
yeah, we
really don't
finished
get it.
on 150, didn't we, at Europe's? What did they finish
Yeah.
on? Well, they should have been heavier than 150. I bet it wasn't.
Maybe
But
like 140, 150.
yeah.
They weren't
Yeah, no, I
heavy at
think
all.
from how fast they all did it, I think it probably should have been heavier. But again, saying that, you always need one event that's not horrifically taxing, because all of these events were horrifically taxing.
I disagree. I think they should all be awful. Awful and heavy. That's what I want to see.
I never want to come to a comp that you
Pain.
organise. Ever. Sounds fucking terrible.
I couldn't
No.
be asked.
Anyway,
I couldn't be asked to do one.
nah, so a few people have spoke to me about running a comp at the farm, and I'm like, nah. But anyway, right, on to the final event, the overhead medley. I like this. I thought it was a real shame that fucking kettlebell was first.
One that.
I wish they'd either given the athletes that exact implement to train on, or made it lighter, because I think a lot of athletes that could have
Yeah.
done very, very well in that did shit because they couldn't get past that kettlebell.
No, exactly. Donna didn't even try it. Her shoulder was playing up, and she's got an
Yeah.
excellent dumbbell press, and she's hit both of the axle weights in training, so she was good to go for that. But
Yeah.
she said she tried the kettlebell behind, like backstage, and that was about 40 kilograms, and she just said absolutely not. There's no way
Yeah.
I'll manage the big one. That was painful to watch. Andrea fucking about with that one. That cost her that
I
event. She could
agree.
have placed so much better. Just because she couldn't get an understanding of how to position it on her shoulder and go into the press. Sam
Yeah.
fucking absolutely mint. She did that really, really fucking well. But again, it's just the lighter ones are better at that skill set, and they're better at thinking about technical challenges because they have
Yeah.
to. They're not as strong on paper because they're not as
Yeah.
big. So they have to work around it by being absolute masters at their craft.
Yeah.
And I think I enjoyed Hannah Lindsay. She showed a lot of balls on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Hannah was good on that. Yeah. She was really good on that. I think it was a letdown for Rebecca Roberts, Andrea, and Melissa, I think, because that
Mm,
kettlebell just absolutely fucked that up for them three. And I think if that
yeah.
had been just different, it would have completely changed what was happening, because Inez was winning that regardless on that second day, wasn't she? Like, she was fucking
Yeah.
storming ahead. But I think it would have
Aye.
definitely made a difference to the rest of the standing had that event not gone that way. Well, that could have been said about anything,
Mm,
I guess. It was vague as fuck.
aye.
But yeah, it was still a cool event to watch. It was really, really cool. It was just a real shame with that kettlebell that like more people didn't get it straight off the bat, because I think it would have everyone should have been able to just do that straight away. Like, no one should have been failing that first event in my eyes.
No, no, I don't think.
First
I
implement.
don't think there should have been either. But it's the way it goes, man.
How it
The
goes.
best one's gonna win, aren't they? So if every single
100%. And I
event
feel like
worked to
Inez
everybody's advantage, it would be shite.
wouldn't be a very good competition, would it?
No.
But yeah, so Final standings was Inez in first with 53 points, Olga in second with 47 points. That's a pretty clear lead by that point. Lucy in third
Yeah.
with 41 points. Buzzing for Lucy to get that third place. Like, that
Mm.
was well deserved. She was like
Mhm.
impressive as fuck all weekend, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Fourth was Angelica, 40 points. Hannah Lindsay in fifth with 29 points. I was expecting a little bit more from Hannah Lindsay. I'm not going to lie. So her deadlift was really good. I know Preston isn't a particular strong point for her, but I do think, I don't know, I was just expecting a bit more.
Yeah. Well, you can't fucking be on form all the time, can you?
Nah.
Maybe she's been carrying an injury. Maybe she's not been well, or work's been fucking
Yeah.
heavy over her. I don't know. I don't know the details, but she didn't have the fire that she normally brings to a competition. She tried, you know, she played her role really well when she was on the
Yeah.
stage, but I don't feel like 100% Hannah Lindsay was there. I feel like there was something missing.
Yeah. That's what I
So
feel like.
who
It's not that I
knows?
don't think she was impressive. I think she was still impressive. It was just that we've seen Hannah Lindsay compete before, and that was like just not 100% what I was expecting.
No.
But like you said, can't be on ball all the time. But anyway, Rebecca Robertson and
No?
Melissa Peacock looked like they were joint sixth because they both had 28.5 points. That was half a point behind Hannah Lindsay, which again shows how close that competition was. Like fifth, sixth, seventh place, there's half a point between them.
Mm.
And then Sam was in eighth with 26 points, Andrea in ninth with 26 points, and Donna in 10th with 10 points. I feel like Donna had a pretty hard competition there.
She did, but you know, she's been carrying an injury for a good couple of months, and now
Yeah.
she's finally addressing it. So
Good.
it wasn't meant to be. It was just shit timing, really. I think if the prize fund hadn't have been there, or if it wasn't, sounds ridiculous to say, but if it wasn't the Rogue, she wouldn't have
She wouldn't
taken
have
the
done it.
competition. She would have just said, no, thank you, I need to heal. But she couldn't.
Yeah.
She didn't want to turn down the opportunity, so stuff shit in
Nah,
it. She still
which
got
totally makes
paid
sense.
a considerable
Yeah.
amount better than she normally would
Yeah.
for winning a World's Strongest Woman title.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like it, and the thing is as well, I feel like in that
Insane.
scenario, it's not a bad thing to come last in that pack. Like that's not an embarrassing pack to come
No,
last in. Do you know what I mean? Like that is the best of the
no.
best in strong women right now. Like, and if you're not
Mm,
100%, you can't expect to be up there with them at 100%. If that makes sense. Because
no.
Donna at 100%, like we said before in the predictions podcast, like she could have easily got on that podium. It didn't work
Mm,
out that way this time, but it is what is, isn't it?
no. Olga and Inez, though, yeah.
Awesome to watch. They were
Yeah,
both mint. I think really it could have
fucking
been
right.
either Olga or Inez. I'm glad Inez got it because I feel like she's been waiting for that sort of size win for a while, hasn't she? And Olga's got quite a
Mm.
big, like, lot of titles under her belt now.
She does. She's quite without even being an old woman. She's quite an
Yeah,
aged athlete, isn't she? She's been around for like, I met her in 2014, and she's still competing at the very top level of the
yeah.
sport now. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, wild. Absolutely wild that she's had that
Because 10
longevity in the
years
sport.
of all that kind of training, all that kind of competing, and um, all of that intake of drugs is quite a challenge, I think,
It's impressive to
on
have
a
kept that
human
standard
body.
going. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we see it
damn
all the
right.
time, don't we? A lot of people come up very fast and then disappear just as fast. But to have
Mm.
any form of longevity in this sport, I think is
She's got
fucking mega impressive.
longevity. Olga longevity. Yeah, Lapchuk. How do you say her surname?
I think
Lichuk.
it's Leah Shuck, isn't it? Leah Shuck.
Okay,
Danny Curtis will be
let's just
rolling
call
now
it
listening to
longevity.
this. Just call it Olga Longevity.
Yeah, begins with an
But
L.
yeah,
That's it.
super impressive. I think we've spoke about everyone there. I don't want to leave anyone out. I feel again, Andrea Thompson. I think I was so like, yes, we've got this. First two events, I was like, fucking come on, Andrea's got that like in the bag. And then I felt sad for her with the final standings there coming in at ninth.
Mm,
But again, it shows in that type of competition you can't have no weak points, can you? You can't
no,
back off at any point because there's people waiting to just like
no.
smash through past you, aren't there?
And she is kind of that way inclined. Like if something doesn't go the way she'd planned, she allows it to drag her down for the rest of the competition. And
It's hard. I
yeah,
feel like it's hard not to be in that, not to be like that though. And as well, it was such a big competition, and like I think we're talking about them like they're athletes and stuff, but at the end of the day, they are just like women. Like, and it'll be
mm,
shit. It'll be the pressure that'll have been on all 10 of those women going into that competition will have been absolutely monstrous. And like, fair
yeah,
fucks to any one of them who went up and fucking competed and did that in front of that crowd. There was like every time I went on that live stream, there was minimum 20,000 people watching it. Minimum.
whoa,
It
mint,
was lifting that, like, I'm sure when I clicked off it there was already like 200,000 views on the fucking live stream. Like it was
wow,
insane the amount of views that was getting and traction. And so for anybody to go out and compete in front of that type of like scenario and crowd, fair fucks, absolute fair fucks. I think
yeah,
everyone fucking showed up and showed that like a strong woman does have a place there.
mm, damn
And it was
straight.
just mint, just fucking mint. I just fucking loved it.
Whoa, God,
Right, calm
settle
down, calm
down.
down. Don't
Have you
overreact.
ever been to Arnold's?
No, no, but that's my plan for it. Not well. I'm going to try and qualify next year for it, and then go to the Arnold in 2026 because I want to try and win the amateur. Because now
There's nothing like it, mate.
my one goal in life is to get to Rogue, so I'm going to do everything possible to get there
Okay,
by doing everything
okay.
else. I have a 5-year plan in place, Jenny. Oh
Wow, I'm
yeah, I'm taking a
scared.
shit.
Is this year one
No,
or is
year
this
one
year
starts
zero?
next year.
Right,
Year one
right,
starts
right.
next
Okay.
year.
So this is
I
year
begin my
zero.
I begin my plan of takeover. Yeah, this is I'm still in the planning phase. I'm still in the planning phase.
Okay. So it could
I'll be there
change.
though. So no,
Okay.
the well
Spectator.
the end goal will always be the same that I compete at Rogue, but the plan may change depending on what happens and what comes up. But the end goal is that
Okay.
within the next 5 years, I want to be at Rogue.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Let's
So
do it.
in 2030, what's the year now? 2024? 20 if
Mm.
I'm not invited
25
to
next
Rogue,
year.
if I'm not invited to Rogue 2030, someone can get this podcast and show me and rinse me to death if they want. They can be like, "You loser, you never made it," and I'll be like, "Probably be dead, to be honest."
35?
I mean, would it
No. I
surprise
mean, you
anyone?
could. You live
No.
life on the edge at the best of times, mate. So,
I couldn't believe I made it past fucking 25, to be honest. So I feel like I'm doing well. But yeah,
did you
you heard
think
it
you
here
would have
first, everyone.
died before 25?
Mm. When I was 15, I was surprised I made it to 20, to be honest. Jesus Christ, those were hard years. Anyway,
It's
on
not for the
to.
podcast, Becca.
I sound like I'm having a midlife crisis here. I'm all right, everyone. Just
You do.
FYI. I am okay. Today's been testing, but in general, I am okay. Anyway,
Good.
so that was Rogue. What we're talking about next? What have you been up to? Anything interesting since the last 2 weeks?
I've been doing a kind of naffle. I haven't ran once since the race, and I have no plans to run.
Fuck that running.
Um, yeah, I don't. It's not even that. It's cold and wet. I can't be asked. I don't want to go outside. I'm just being a
Fair.
hermit crab. Um, I've been to Scotland a few times. That's been lovely.
Nice.
Like obviously I was in Aberdeen for the Rogue, but I had a nice little a nice little bash about in the Cairngorms afterwards, and
Nice.
oh my God, so beautiful, so
Beautiful.
beautiful. Can't get over it. You know, like the M6 is quite a nice road to drive along because you get views from like the Dales and the Howgills, and then you've got the lakes as well.
Yeah.
The A9, the A9 coming down from top of Scotland.
The
Oof.
A9's really good.
Oh my God,
Well, nice.
I can't deal with it. It was I wish somebody else was driving because I was just like, oh my
Oh my
God. I don't want to look at the road, I want to look around. Yeah,
god. I always remember when
it
me
was
and Ben were coming
stunning.
back from we were coming back from a show once, and we were on the A9, and we were in the van with all the birds and stuff, and I was like desperate for a wee. I'm going to piss myself in it. Let me out of this van. So we stopped at the side of the road on the A9. I got out for a wee, and as I got out for a wee, this huge herd of deer just like ran in front of the van, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" It
That's
was very
scary.
exciting. I didn't wee on any
Ambush.
deer though.
Good. If you weren't weighing already, you'd have pissed yourself.
I know. It was lucky.
It was
But
really lucky.
very lucky. Oh, well, that's nice. Anything else exciting been happening? Been to Scotland and
Um, I did a wild camp for first time on my own, on me Todd, on top
nice.
of a cold mountain. It was very cold. I was very cold. Very,
I bet it
very cold.
was. When was
Um,
that?
that was on the Sunday night
Oh,
of the Rogue.
chilly.
Yeah,
Did you just
that
go up
was
to
my
Rogue on your
mission.
own?
I was staying with my sister and Jade and Emily and
Oh, yeah.
Fiona. You don't know them, but yeah, I was staying with them, and then I did a little hop up to Bucky, which is on that top ridge where Inverness is. Inverness is
Yeah.
over here, and then it kind of juts off like this.
Yeah.
Bucky's about there, where my nose
Right.
is right now.
Right there.
And then drove down through the Cairngorms. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted to hike up over 1,000 meter hill, mountain, whatever, and I wanted to camp on my own for the first time
Nice.
because that's two things I've never done. I've never hiked above 840 something meters, and I've never camped on my own. Stop it! Stop fucking thumbing up.
Loves your thumbs, that thing. Loves your thumbs. That's cool. That's a cool goal to have hit that. Cool little goal to have ticked off, I feel like. Independent woman
Yeah,
goal.
yeah, though. Fucking right. It was absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. What about you?
And I've just clearly had a fucking
You've
breakdown, haven't
you've
I?
fucking bleached your head. You
I've got
bleached
no
your head, haven't
eyebrows.
you?
I'm just bleached my head, yeah.
Now you look weird. You look weird.
Just got a weird looking head now, but I do you know what? I actually quite like it. I don't know if you can get the full effect.
That's all that matters. I can't know. You just look like a big potato,
I do
big
look like a bit of a
pixelated potato
potato.
with headphones on.
Yeah, yeah, it's a strong look. It's a strong look, but I quite like it, and I'm going to keep it because it obviously offends people, which I like even more.
It
So
does. Yeah.
the more
Fuck
people
you,
dislike it,
albino.
the more I'm keeping it. But yeah, no,
You big albino bitch.
it's been good. The only problem is that it does go very yellow every couple of days, and well,
Mm,
it's only been a couple of days, but after 2 days, my head was bright yellow, and I was like, "Wow, this isn't good." And my eyebrows were yellow, so I had to tone it. But the shower's also broken, so I can't wash my bald head in the shower. I have to do it in the bath, which is
so you've been
I
washing
just
it in
don't.
piss? Is that why it's
I,
yellow? Because you've been washing it in piss?
I'm not pissing in my baths, mate. I'm not sitting in my own piss water. That's intense. No,
Why?
but um. I don't want to wash myself in my own piss. Actually, to be fair, it is pretty much as we were having this discussion before the podcast. My piss is basically water at this point because I drink that much of the fucking stuff. So I probably could,
Mm,
to be fair. I'm judgmental. I'm being
mine's
judgmental
mud.
myself. I wouldn't want to sit in your
Mm,
pissy bathwater. That'd be
nah.
gross, smelly.
Sludge. Sludge piss.
This has
Yeah.
really gone off track as fuck. Anyway, yeah, so I bleached my head. It was very fun. It was very nice. What else have I been doing? Not much. Got my wedding pictures. Well, a few wedding pictures through today. Yesterday.
Oh,
That's been
yeah.
very nice. I've enjoyed looking
Are you
through
going
them.
to
There's some
post any of those
absolute.
up this evening?
Well, I would try. The only problem is I can't download any of them because I've been given it in a view only file. So if I get the downloads, then yes. If I don't, then no, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to wait even longer, everybody. So sorry, you're
Garbage.
all gonna be sad. Apart from that,
Garbage.
I've done a lot of uni work. I've done a lot of working at Hedgehog Bakery. I've eaten a lot of Hedgehog Bakery. I'm now 87 and a
Oh.
half kilos. Womp womp.
Oh.
But
Oh, dear.
it's Christmas chub. I'm just trying to keep warm in this weather.
I think that's important. It saves you money on logs, doesn't it?
Exactly, 100%. Saves me money on the heating. So,
Mm.
yeah, it's been all right. Obviously, I've had a bit of drama as usual yesterday at a comp, which is a bit of a shame to be honest, because I got asked to ref, and I know that I wasn't the first choice of ref for this comp, which is fine because I'm not many people's first choice. Like I'm fully aware of this, but I got asked, and I went down and I refed the comp, and then someone just couldn't help themselves being a little bitch at that comp, so they
Mm.
had to be told.
Yeah.
They didn't like being told,
Oh,
so
dear.
that's it's all
Incels
gone.
it's just the way they are.
It's all gone very
Isn't
downhill,
it?
and I feel like it's hard. It's really hard, and what's pissed me off, I think, today is that as a woman, like no matter how you react, you're getting judged on how you're reacting to it. So, like, I didn't react on the day.
Mm.
I'll 100% hold my hands up and say that I started it. 100% I did because I was fucking fuming. Like, this kid basically missed his rep on the deadlift because he was wearing headphones. The ref didn't give it to him and then told him that he did get it out of the kindness of her heart, basically. And he stormed off anyway because he was furious. I then heard him chuntering on behind me, bitching about the ref and saying this, that, and the other, even though he'd been given the rep. The rep was given. So I turned around and just basically said, like, why are you being such, like, a little bitch about it? Like, you've been given the rep, you've been disrespectful because you're wearing headphones anyway. Like, grow up, basically. Shut up, grow up,
Mm.
stop being a child
Hmm.
about it. He obviously didn't like that. Told me I was being a bitch, which, yeah, fair enough. But realistically, in that
You are,
situation,
but you're not.
I didn't I didn't go in super aggressive. I turned around and I said, like, look, that was out of order. Do not talk about your refs like that. Don't be wearing headphones when you're lifting. Like, I didn't get personal. I didn't say anything that I thought was out of order. There was a lot of people stood around. Loads of people saw this conversation. So, like, I couldn't give a
Mm.
fuck. And I think most people knew that I wasn't being overly aggressive. I was swearing, but every other word that
Mm.
comes out my mouth is fuck. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah,
Obviously,
it's normal. It's normal.
exactly. And we're adults. We're an adult thing. I can swear. But his reaction to this was
Mm.
obviously to tell me that I shouldn't be swearing because there was kids and that I was acting like a bitch, which then turned into, well, you're just a fucking bitch. And I was like, okay, pal, this is the way we're going to go then. So I'd given him a warning and said, like,
Wow.
you can behave like that, but you'll get removed from this comp. Like, I'm not going to tolerate you talking to me like that. And I'm not
Mm.
going to tolerate you talking about refs like that. At which point, I then just gave up and went to go and speak to one of the organisers. He then come over and started chuntering his corner, saying that he hadn't said anything, blah, 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 blaming it all on me, because obviously everything's my fault. So yeah, we all decided to leave it and act like grown-ups and just carry on with the rest of the day. So we did. I was fine. I continued like for whatever I was doing, and I remember walking past him at one point, which it really, really pissed me off because I'd instantly forgot what he looked like. Because you don't remember these sorts of people, do you? Like, I was like, right, water under the
No.
bridge, move on with my day. I don't care. Walked past him in the gym, and because he was staring me out, which I didn't realize until obviously afterwards, I smiled, and I was walking along. Someone looks at you, you smile, don't you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you all right? Yeah, yeah. And but as I walked past and I smiled, I heard him go, "Fucking bitch," under his breath, and I thought, oh, just wasted a fucking smile on this cunt. Fucking hell, gutted. So that
But
annoyed me.
really, a fucking A bald lad with a beard in Strongman. Come on, guys. Try a new look.
Everyone, you all look the same.
They all look
So
the same.
I can't help it. I don't remember your face, pal. Like, that's not my fault. But anyway, so I'd gone to the toilet, and when I came back, he was leaving the gym with his girlfriend, which
Oh, he's got a
anyway,
girlfriend. Does she read the papers?
surprise, surprise. But anyway, as I was leaving the gym, he collared me and went, "Oh, I just wanted to say there's no hard feelings." Which obviously at that point I was like, well, there is, isn't there? Let's not be silly about this. Like,
Yeah.
there is hard feelings. But again, I didn't raise my voice. I was talking loudly because I do talk loudly. Anyone who knows me knows that.
Yeah.
And I was swearing. I never shouted. I would like to make this perfectly clear now. My little woman hysteria and my temper never was lost. I was completely in control of my emotions at all times. Thank you very much. But yeah, I said, look, there is hard feelings, but like, just don't behave like that at future comps. Like, you're not going to last long if you're doing stuff like that. People don't like it. It's a rude way
No.
to behave. He obviously didn't like this. Told me that I was weird looking. I had nothing going on in my weird looking head, and that I was a fucking bitch again. And I was like, well, to be fair, all them points are true, but okay. Do what you will, pal. That's fine. So yeah,
I think it's
told him
rich coming from somebody who looks like an incel, has been taken to court for the things that he has. But, you know, what was going on in his head when he thought that he could get away with wearing headphones and then understand what was going on in the competition?
well,
Like,
in general, I think
what is
it's
wrong
rude
with
to wear
you?
headphones. Yeah, I think it's rude to wear headphones at a comp. I think I understand when people have, them little loop ones that like stop the background noise. I get that, like, because comps are
Yeah.
massively oversensory. Like, I totally understand that, but listening to music and wearing headphones when you're lifting, I think is really silly and it's dangerous. Like, no
Mm,
risk assessment at a comp will cover you wearing headphones because if something goes wrong, how can you hear? If there was two
mm.
platforms next to each other and someone else was doing overhead and it was falling towards you, you're wearing headphones, how are you going to know?
Oh, there was a
Until you're
bomb.
dead.
There was an
Oh, there was
explosion,
a bomb.
and you couldn't hear it.
Exactly. So yeah, but anyway,
Health
so
and
that was
safety, there
that.
could have been a bomb.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you've got
That's
to think of all
just
the
all in a
possibilities.
fun Sunday's work in strongman.
All in a fun Sunday's work, but then yeah, the aftermath today has been that. Yeah, I mean, he kicked off a bit on. Well, I kicked off on Instagram, which is fair enough. I had loads of memes lined up for this because it was funny. But this is what I was getting at before that annoys me about being a woman is that no matter how I react to this situation, it's going to be an overreaction. No matter
Yeah.
what I do, I'm blowing it out of proportion. I'm overreacting
Yeah.
about it.
You're
Even though it's
being
my
hysterical.
situation. Yeah, but this is my situation, a deal with how I want. So would the outcome, would people feel more sympathy for me if I'd cried when he called me a bitch? Unfortunately, that's just not my
Maybe.
vibe.
No. No, that would
But
be weird. That would be weird seeing you cry.
I just don't have tears. I'm completely dry on the inside.
Remember, after the Husafell when you were just uncontrollably shaking? What if that was your
Convulsing.
reaction to being really hysterical, like really
I tell you
angry, and you
what,
just start fucking?
when I do get annoyed, I do get shaky. I do get like I was having because afterwards,
Yeah,
after he'd had his little blow up with me, I was having my cup of tea and I was a bit like, oh, I'll have your cup of tea.
adrenaline.
Calm me down, get me hysteria back in check. Jesus Christ. Sorry, everybody. That I spoke my
But
opinion.
it
Oopsie
is,
daisy.
it's always that, isn't it? A man never gets it pointed out to him when he's got something to say to somebody that's not what they wanted to fucking hear. They don't get pointed out for being, looking different, and they don't get called a bitch.
Nope.
Even though, well, you can get called a bitch if you're a guy, and
No,
there
I'll
are
call him a
plenty.
bitch. He was being a
I'd
bitch.
say he was a little fucking bitch.
I
Little
wasn't being
foot
a
with his
bitch.
Amish beard. Come on. That's a
Can't
pathetic beard. Shave it off. You
can't
look like
judge
a
people's
moron.
can't judge people's appearances, Jenny. That's for the men.
I can. I can. If I
Are
have
you,
to wax my
are
mustache,
you,
then he should shave that shit beard.
are you a woman in a male-dominated field? You're going to start judging the men based on their
No,
appearances.
I am. That's what I'm here for. It's happened to me all my fucking life, so it's time they
put
got it.
put them men back in their place. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, you haven't spoken about that at all. You did a Storyland interview, didn't you?
I did?
Moving on to more interesting things. Where was that? When was that? That looks great. I can't wait to listen to that.
That
So if you haven't listened to that,
was. Yeah, go to Storyland Productions or just Storyland on Instagram or on YouTube, and
yeah.
it's on there. It's I'm not supposed to say that it's a photographer's who I've worked with before. It's not. It's a separate entity in itself because what the photographer doesn't want to be known for is that's his production company and they're his stories. He wants it to be a separate brand away from his
Right.
brand because he's a photographer that's hired by other people. So it's
Fair.
an entity of its own. It's Storyland. But I have worked with him in the past, and Donna has as well. So I know him quite well, and he got in touch with me a few years ago when I was working in Hartlepool in a gym, and I'd won maybe my second or third England's title. I was interviewed for the local paper, and he got my contact details from that journalist because he wanted to do a project that was called 100%. And it was just a montage of me training. It was fucking wicked. So I was really
Nice.
happy to go and do that because he's a top lad. He's really weird. He's a bit on the spectrum, so we get along quite well. And it's just interviewing ordinary people with, you know, stories out of the ordinary. I wouldn't say that I've got an extraordinary life, but it's not normal, is it? I haven't done normal things, or it's not
You're
been
definitely not.
boring. I'm not
You're
bored.
definitely not normal.
No.
Definitely not normal. Nah, it looks really
God.
cool. It's good. It's very good production. Like if you watch that one and then watch this one first, so that you get over the bad production, and then you can watch that one. That's nice
You get the hook.
production.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
It looks really cool. Yeah, I'm
It
going
was
to
good
listen.
fun.
That's my afternoon listening planned, ready to go.
I can't
Hell
honestly
yeah.
like tell you what I was talking about though, other than the clips that he's put out, because I can't remember and I'm not watching it. I can't.
I know you
I
won't. I
always
was
struggle
just
to do
about to
that.
say you'll never watch it again because
I don't
that's what
watch
you
these
like.
fucking things. I only watch the highlight reels that you post up of these things. Can't watch the
That
real
last
thing.
AI makes them now. I don't bother. Actually, to be fair, Danny said that he'll edit this podcast if we pay him. So yeah, I'm probably going to pay him.
What we're gonna pay?
Beans? No, I couldn't insult Danny. He's like me good mate.
Yeah.
He's good friend.
Oh.
He's a good lad. He's a good egg, isn't he, Danny Curtis? He's a good egg. He's a little bit
Thanks.
odd, but he's a good egg. We've also got a
I
very
guess
similar
that's why you
taste in
get on.
music as well. Yeah. Yeah, we like the same
You do.
tunes. Yeah. Yeah, only
You.
because he likes no, because he likes like slut pop stuff.
Oh my
Like I
God,
could,
Danny, no.
yeah, he does. He listens to like Kim
Oh,
Petras and stuff. It's class. Like
I
we're
don't know what
listening.
that is.
I'd shared a band the other day called Thought Squad that are really good. My vibe, you'd hate it. Don't Google them. You won't
I
like
have
it.
no idea what this is.
Nah, it's
I've already
massively
forgotten
good.
what you said, so.
Probably for the best. But yeah, is that all our news? Anything else happened?
Maybe we should touch on maybe a little tribute to Julia Mills,
Ah, yeah,
who passed
Julia.
away recently. Like with the wonderful weekend at Rogue, and then being thrown that news, it was like we'd reached a point with women in strength sports, and at the point that we've reached this nice crescendo, we've lost one of them. An
Yeah.
absolute fucking legend. And not even like I don't even want to talk about the strength feats that she's done and her success in powerlifting. Like she was just a mint person, and
Yeah,
it's
totally
shit.
agree.
Like I don't get it, and I don't think I ever will, and it's weird as fuck. And like, how can somebody with that much energy just be gone? I don't get it. Don't get it at all. But
Yeah,
maybe
I
we
think
should talk
that's
about
what
something
was.
else quickly before Jenny starts crying. But yeah,
We're gonna catch crying on the podcast.
but God bless you, Julia Mills, you absolute belter.
Yeah, we all love you, and
Don't
like,
make them like
what?
her.
Nah, they don't make them like her, not anymore. What a fucking legend! And if you don't know who Julia Mills
No.
is, then you need to find out about her because she was an integral part to strong woman history and powerlifting history. To be fair, just strength sport history. To be honest, like, what a fucking legend! Big up, Julia.
Aye. Should
I
we
feel like
do
we
a
can't
silly
go to a
goose?
silly.
Because that's morbid.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel
I
like we
think
need to
she'd
put
like
something.
it.
I think she would. To be fair, though, yeah, fuck it. Let's do a silly goose. I'll pull over Macron. You're having the silly goose song. We'll cheer it back up again. This one's for you, Julia.
Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where our lips get loose and our minds run free. Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where we chat a load of shit that's of absolutely no use. It's silly goose time.
Right, silly goose. So my silly goose today, unless you've got one, check me in first. Have you got a silly
I
goose?
don't think so.
No, that's
I don't
fine. I
think
have one
so.
lined up.
Frankie's just
How-
come in. She looked like she had something to say, but now she's lying down again.
Yeah, no, not got anything to say then. Well, this silly goose is actually because of. So we've been looking after Ben's cousin's dogs this last couple of weeks because they've been in Texas. And one of them was the puppy to like Rogue and Shunky's sister, who was called Jax. So he's been great fun. But then the other dog that they had was called Nell, and I think it was a Cocker Spaniel. It was a spaniel of sorts. But it's called Nell, and it's deaf, completely deaf. So I want
Wow.
your opinion on whether you think that dogs know that they're deaf. Because the concept of being deaf is surely a human thing, because you'd have to have the
Yeah.
understanding that you were deaf. But if you're born deaf as a dog, how are you ever going to know?
Yeah.
These
I
are
don't-
real shower thoughts. Because how do they
I
know?
feel
How
like
would they ever
I
find
should
out
have
that they were
smoked
deaf?
weed before.
Well, this is a good pondering one then, because I feel like we'll never get to the answer because we'll never know it, and I don't want to Google it because it'll ruin it for me.
We won't ever know it, but there are ways and means that animals communicate with each other that we will never understand, and we'll never be able to kind of formulate. But surely they know, because a deaf animal will latch on to one that's not, as if they know that, okay, this beast has got the ability to hear that I don't, so I'm going to put my trust in it and follow this one around so that this one can warn me.
Will it though? Because that dog didn't
And
really
only
follow anyone
really
around.
come to that. Well, maybe it's just, how old is it?
I don't know. I think it was a couple of years old, like 1.5, 2. It was only young. It wasn't like an old dog, but it had been born deaf,
Maybe
so
it's
never
unaware now,
heard.
but maybe it won't always be unaware. No, I think animals
How would it
have
become
an
aware
intuition.
though? And what them animals are sniffing its bum, going, "It smells like a deaf dog." How do the other dogs know that it's deaf?
I don't know.
This is what
When
I
they
mean.
fucking bark, and it's just like,
yeah, in a way, it did bark. It made noises, so it would cry.
Does it make noises
cried.
like a deaf person?
No.
But
no,
did it
because I
sound
said
like a deaf person? You know, when
it
they
sounded. No, it sounded like a dog. Because yeah, I do understand what you mean when
like a
like
normal
people who are
dog.
born
Okay.
deaf sound different from people who have been born hearing. But yeah, no,
Mm.
it didn't sound like
Mm.
a deaf dog at all. It sounded like a very normal dog. Like it was crying on the first night, and I was like, because I thought it was Chunky, and it wasn't. It was Nell.
Kind of annoying, isn't it? Wish it was
Yeah, but it
mute.
slept in the barn after that, so I didn't
Fucking
hear it
crying
again.
dogs. Yeah, good. Good job you got one.
Don't do
Oh,
crying dogs at my house.
no.
But yeah,
No,
I
no.
must
Get
have thought
out.
about it for hours. Like, how does it know? It was bizarre though, because on the first couple of like nights, we'd go in and like if it had been asleep, it wouldn't wake up. Like you'd go in the barn, you'd open all the doors, all the birds would be shouting, like the other dogs would get up and be running around because Gorilla and Jax were in there with it. And like it would just be curled up in a little ball at the side, and you'd be like, right, well, that's obviously dead. And it wasn't, it was just
Aw.
fast asleep, I couldn't hear. But yeah, bizarre.
Poor
So yeah,
thing. I
I
think
would
that's
quite like to
cute.
see what other
I want a
people
deaf
think of
dog.
what it was. Very cute, to be honest. Like it was such a nice dog. On a night time, it would like cuddle up with you on the sofa like a cat, to be honest. It was like proper
Mm.
like snuggled up on you. It was very cute. So yeah, do dogs know that they're deaf? That's what I would like to find out, please, in the
Yes.
internet places. But you think they know
I
that they're
feel
deaf?
like we've probably maybe this is learned in veterinary school. You know, these kind of animal behavior things. So maybe we'll find out off one of our vet nurse listeners.
But do you think if a dog was
Maybe they're not.
blind and it was born blind, do you think it would know that it was blind? It would know something's up, surely. But how would it ever know that that was not what normal life was? That's what I'm trying to understand. If that's what your normal is, but you have no other way of like communicating,
This
unless
is
dogs
fucked. This
would the
is
other
too
dogs
much for my
bark?
brain.
Would the would the other dogs bark and tell that dog that it was a blind dog or not?
Maybe.
Or how would
Maybe.
they know it was blind? How would they know it was blind? Unless that dog was like, "Can you see anything?" And the other dog's
When they
like,
see it
"Yeah."
bumping into shit, if they see it constantly running into stuff,
But is the concept of
hey,
being
don't
deaf and
do
blind
that.
a
You're about to
concept?
walk into a car.
Is this concept a concept that animals understand though? Do they understand the concept of being deaf and blind?
I don't know. I'm not an animal. I am. I'm a human animal.
These are the
I don't know what it's
questions that
like
I
to be a
wanna
deaf
know.
dog. God, you're on drugs.
No, not yet. Another interesting one. I
Nearly
don't know whether
that
we spoke about
time.
this. It's nearly that. Oh, we're an hour off.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we've spoke about this before, but I think we have actually, whether animals have ghosts. I think we've done this one as a silly goose. I was going to convoy onto it, but
I've had the fucking oven on for over an hour, you know, with nothing in it.
Oh, that's going to have cost so much money, you silly, silly girl. Error.
I'm a silly goose.
We're just getting a tour of your house now. Do I have to cut this bit out?
Yeah,
Is this
here I
basically
am.
you
No,
being
this is
doxed?
fine. You carry on. I just need to put a chicken in and also turn it down.
Just need to put a chicken in. Well, to be fair, we're at a minute. We've only been podcasting for 1 minute. No, an hour.
Has it only
15,
been a
so
minute?
it's probably enough. I mean, it wasn't a very funny silly goose, so I'll apologise to everybody for
Where's
that. I'm
the
gonna have to be
roasting tray? It was shit.
You
Have you
look
not
like
got
you're going to
another
put
one?
yourself. Let me have a look. I'll have to come up with it off the top of
I'm
my
gonna
head,
put
and that's
myself
never
there.
good. You look like you were going into the oven.
What is this tray? I'm so confused right now. I don't know where the baking tray is, and it's big. Like, I have no idea how it can just be lost.
Has your chicken
Richard.
vanished?
Richard's put it somewhere that is
Oh,
not logical
no.
to the kitchen system.
Oh, God. Poor Richard. Let me have a look in my saved
Who,
reels,
me?
because that's where all
I have to
the
suffer this.
funnies are.
I don't understand where it is. How could it just be gone?
Maybe he's stolen it. Nah, I haven't got anything
I
funny
bet
to
it's
talk
like
about.
got an engine in it or something. Never mind.
He'll have
Maybe
used it
we
for
should just
something
leave
else.
it on 10 minutes of me putting a chicken in the oven.
Well, that's funny in itself, I guess, isn't it? Depending on how high you are.
Well, not very. That would make this a lot better. So,
Yeah. Well, I think that's enough. You just look like you have no
Ian,
idea what's going on. What?
it was already in it.
No! The chicken was already ready. Is that one of them cooked
Fucking
chicken in a
hell.
bag? Cook it in a bag?
I don't do it. It makes them minging. It makes the
I
skin
was going to
all
say,
horrible.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, there's your silly goose. I'm not sure I believe in chicken being cooked in a bag.
I don't believe in it at all. A chicken breast in a bag, you know, one of those little spice things, you put it in a bag and then it makes it all juicy. It makes it retain its juices. Ugh.
No.
Yeah, they're all right. But I
No.
can't abide a roast chicken in a bag. That's not
I
a
feel
roast
like I'm
chicken, that's a
too.
boiled chicken.
Why are you using clippers for the chicken? Can you not just touch it with your hands?
Because I don't like to touch it that much.
That's why they created chicken in a bag, you know. You're the problem here.
It's fine. I've got chicken on this hand, but I don't want chicken on this hand because this is the one that's going to go and touch other things. Cross
Just wash 'em.
contamination. So, but then what do I turn the fucking sink on with, Becca? A
Just
chicken
your
hand?
hands. Yeah. Just
A
give us
chicken
some
hand?
white down.
You want me to use my chicken hand to turn the tap on? Is that what you want me to do? You want me to get
Yes.
chicken on the tap so that when I've washed my hands and I've turned the tap off, I touch the tip again?
I
Is that what
tell you
want?
what. This is a very
You
good
have been
reason
food
of why.
poisoned many times by
I was
your own
literally just.
cooking. I
I
never
was going to say
have.
that. To be fair, I can't be one to judge you.
Don't
Yeah,
give me
'cause
all that.
I
No.
do get food poisoning quite a lot.
Yes, yes, you do.
Not a
Yes,
flex.
you
Maybe I need
Not
to
a
be
single
better.
one. Not
I
even
need to.
not even a fraction of a flex that.
I don't know. Like, I think it's quite impressive how many times I've done it to
Hey,
myself.
look at this. Look at this non-chickeny hand opening
Are we
some
going to get the
some
top off
oil
of that?
under my
Ridiculous.
armpit.
This is now. Is this just a
I'm
cooking
still
with
gonna
Jenny
touch
show
it
now?
though. What's the point of me fucking it is? Just call me Fanny Craddock.
This is fantastic. Is this chicken for tea? Oh, can you hear Chunky? She's crying.
Yeah, I can. She's like, I
Sick
want
of this
chicken.
shit. She heard the word chicken and was like,
Yeah.
fuck this. What are you doing down there? Give me some chicken.
Aye.
Right. Well,
Chonky
on that
chicken.
note,
Right, I need to turn the tap on now, so let's sign off.
I think we're probably done. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Probably didn't, but is what it is. I just don't care anymore, to be honest. I just don't care.
No.
All the
And
fucks are gone.
remember, always have a chicken tongue. Chicken tongues for the win. Keep a chicken free.
Never
hand.
touch.
Yes.
Never touch
And
chicken with your hands.
you'll never get food poisoning. No.
Life lessons to live by. Anyway, that's it. We're done. Podcast over. Bye.
Bye.